welcome back. This is going to be my Leg 1 ride report for the 2025 Iron Butt Rally. Stick around. So this year, the hotel for the Iron Butt Rally was in Iowa City, Iowa. Takeoff Saturday morning. Pretty easy ride out there. About 300 miles, about 5 hours. Traffic wasn't bad. Had a bunch of stuff loaded on the bike. Had an extra bag with everything that I was going to keep at the hotel. Leave here. It doesn't matter what time I left here. Get to Iowa City. There's already quite a few people there. Get the bike parked. Get checked into my hotel room. Get the hotel room set up. Get my laptop set up. Tablet set up. I get everything charging. And then I head downstairs to go socialize. Get downstairs. Like I said, there's quite a few people already there. Run into some people I knew from Team Strange, Doug and Liz, Mike Lindstrom. Head in. Saturday night, dinner was not provided. It was up to you to figure out what you wanted to eat. There was a restaurant in the hotel that we were staying at. I went over there. Quite a few riders in there having some dinner. Find me a table, have myself a drink, have myself a nice sandwich. About the time I finished eating dinner, the couple across from me in the bar introduced themselves. That was Chris and Stella, part of Team Kiwi Eagle. They were riding with their friend Bill. So I recognize Chris from his YouTube videos. He also rides a Concourse 14. So him and I hit it off. We talked a bit about bikes. We talked a bit about what my goals were for this rally, kind of my expectations. It was really good to talk to Chris Saturday night, and it really got my head in the game. Get to bed nice and early Saturday. Sunday was very easy. Sunday's the logistics day. In past rallies, it would be a day full of moving table to table, showing your insurance, showing your MedJet, showing your driver's license. This year, all of that was done before we got to the rally. So Sunday consisted of a odometer check, very straightforward, about a 50-mile ride. So after the odometer check, we had a meeting to go over the application that Paul Tonk had created for doing scoring. This app is awesome. It's got a lot of really cool features. And it basically gets rid of the old pen and paper way of doing scoring. And we'll go into kind of how the app works as we start collecting bonuses here. But it's very straightforward, and it's hopefully the future of rallying, because my handwriting's atrocious. I can't even read it, especially when I've been awake for a long time. So to be able to do it all on an app was very convenient. So after the app meeting, had a little bit of free time. The next meeting we had that day was our rookie meeting. The rookie meeting, there was a lot of rookies. I think they said there was 50 rookies this year. So half of the starting field. The meeting was very helpful. There was lots of good advice given. Meeting wraps up. The next thing we have going Sunday is our dinner. Dinner was at 7. So we have dinner. Dinner was really good. More socializing. This year, there was no information given about the rally at the dinner. It was just simply eat, socialize, and go to bed. So I think the next thing I want to talk about, what were my goals going into this rally? And this is in order of importance. The first goal was to be safe. This is a very challenging thing. The most important thing to me was to get back home safe. The second priority, or my second goal in this rally, have fun. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I wanted to enjoy it as much as possible and make it as fun as I could. It's a very difficult thing. It's a very challenging event, but I wanted to have fun throughout the whole thing. My third goal was to be competitive. Not really sure going into the rally what being competitive would look like, but I knew I wanted to go out there and ride a good ride and be competitive with myself to see what I could do in an 11-day rally. I wasn't planning on being top 10 or winning the event. I just wanted to be competitive with myself and know that I rode the best ride I could, just so I could see where I stack up. And the final goal was to get my 3-digit number. I think anyone going into this rally their rookie year, that is their goal, is get that 3-digit number. So with those goals out of the way, let's get to the riders meeting. 5 o'clock Monday morning, the theme is introduced. The theme for this year's rally was Origins. We get handed our rally books. These very nice leather-bound rally books. And we get a rundown of how this rally is going to work. So the way this rally was set up was in loops. So the way to think about loops is kind of like a combo bonus, with the kicker being if you don't complete a loop, you DNF, you do not finish. So you have to pick a loop, you have to ride the loop, and these were all preset. You could only claim one loop. So you could collect the bonuses for the other loops, but you could only claim the loop bonus for one loop on the leg. The other thing about this rally was there was a big loop option and a small loop option. So with the big loop option, you had two choices, and both of them meant you would be out riding for 11 days. No checkpoints, you didn't come back to Iowa, you were out riding for 11 days straight. The small loops consisted of out and backs where you would come back to the checkpoint each time. It was made clear to us at this point that the competitive option was going to be the small loops. So we get our rally packs, head back to the hotel room. They had breakfast. I wasn't in the mood to eat at that point. I wanted to start routing. Initially, I looked at the big loop, specifically the 91 loop, which I was initially looking at the 91 loop, which paid honor to the first rally that Mike Kneebone put on. This had a lot of locations that I wanted to go, a lot of best of locations in the Iron Butt community. It was very appealing. So the first thing I did is I planned out that loop. It was going to be around 9,500 miles, give or take. And it seemed like a good option for me. If I completed it, it'd get me my 3-digit number. And it got me to a lot of the locations that I wanted to visit on this rally. So with that being planned, I decided to go down and get some breakfast, just to kind of reset my head for a second before going back up to the room and either planning out a different loop or ironing out the final details of this big loop. So I go down to get breakfast. Real good breakfast again. All of the meals on this rally were awesome. Get my breakfast, and I go sit in the banquet hall, sit down with Dave Kendall. And him and I chatted a little bit, kind of about what we were thinking about doing. So we were talking about what we were thinking, and he was thinking about doing a big loop as well. And then we started discussing the goals that we had for this rally. And in that discussion, it was made clear that, again, that if you were doing a big loop, you weren't going to be competitive. It was going to end up being who strayed off the route far enough to go pick up the most bonuses, and you weren't going to make up points. It wasn't going to be competitive. I realized after talking with Dave, I wasn't going to do the big loop. I was going to do a small loop. My third goal in this rally was to be competitive, and I felt like taking the big loop wasn't going to fulfill that goal of me being competitive. So I headed back up to the room, took probably a half a pound of bacon with me, head back up to the room, and I start looking at the small loops. I know we talked about my goals for this rally. I had some secondary goals. I call them side quests. There was locations I wanted to go to. There was things I wanted to do on this rally that were kind of off the beaten path. Not really rally related, but just goals I had or things I wanted to do. So some of those side quests that I wanted to go on, one of them was I wanted to go to Gerlach, Nevada. Gerlach's a very special place to me. It was one of the first locations I went to when I started doing long distance riding. Some of the other side quests I wanted to do, I wanted to ride Highway 550 in Colorado, the $1 Million Highway. The next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to go swimming somewhere. I love doing cold plunges, especially when I'm up in the mountains. So I knew if I had the opportunity, I wanted to go swimming in a river somewhere. In looking at the loops, there was 2 loops that stood out to me, both of them because they contained a bonus location in Gerlach, Nevada. So the loop that appealed to me the most was the Fran Crane Option A. This loop consisted of 3 bonuses you had to collect. One of which being Gerlach, Nevada, the second one being Death Valley Inn, and the third one being the Visitor Center, the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. So those were the 3 bonuses I had to collect to finish my loop. So I plugged those in. I start adding bonuses in along the way. I'm very happy with how this route was looking. So I pack up the hotel room, head down to the bike. We have to be in line at 11. We leave at 12. It's starting to get hot out. Drank a bunch of water, pre-hydrated before we left. And we got on the road at 12 o'clock. It was there's a lot of adrenaline in the air. I don't think anyone dropped their bike. It was very exciting getting out of the parking lot.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's talk about the bonuses I collected along the way. So, leaving out of Iowa City, I had quite a haul to my first bonus. My first bonus wasn't until Cheyenne, Wyoming. I get that bonus. After that, I'm heading to Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City was a breeze, in and out. I saw a couple other riders. I saw quite a few people while I was on this loop. It's always good to see other riders out there. I get the Salt Lake City bonus, and then from there, my next bonus isn't until Gerlach, and that was quite a haul to get to that bonus. Head out to Gerlach. Anyone who's been out there knows it is a laser flat road, and the speed limit's 55. It was made very clear to us at the beginning of the rally that our speed would be monitored, and excess speed would not be tolerated. So doing the speed limit all the way out through the desert was a little tough, but it's a very beautiful place out there. Get out there, get my bonus. It was the Fran Crane rock out there at the memorial. Took a moment to take in where I was, took some extra photos, took a moment of gratitude, and got back on the road. Rolling out of Gerlach, my next bonus was Reno, Nevada. It was the Reno sign. Pretty straightforward. The road was closed, so I had to park on a side street. Ran over. A nice police officer was kind enough to take my photo for me, and I head out of Reno. So heading south out of Reno, my next bonus was a police officer monument. Get that photo, and at this point, I'm needing to take my meal bonus, and I'm needing to take my rest bonus. It's starting to get hot. I'm starting to get tired. Right outside the police officer monument, nice little restaurant. I believe it was an Applebee's. I get in there. I start my meal bonus. So a quick rundown of meal bonuses on this rally. It's all done on the app. You open the app, you hit a start timer, and you have to take 45 minutes off the bike from kickstand down to kickstand up. With that meal bonus, you also need to take a picture of your food. Your food, your flag, the menu. And this is just so they know that you're having an actual sit-down meal, you're taking in a good amount of calories, and you're spending a time off the bike. So I complete this meal bonus. While I'm sitting there, I find a hotel, get the hotel room booked. It's just down the street, about 5 minutes. Get into the hotel and start my rest bonus. For rest bonuses on this leg, you had to take 2 rest bonuses, a minimum of 4 hours apiece, for a total of 10 hours. So the way I did it is I took 1 4-hour break and 1 6-hour break. Minimum of 4 hours. That gets me my 10-hour minimum for both rest bonuses. So I take 4 hours off the bike, get a hotel room, get out of the heat, get back on the road. It's starting to get dark. The sun's starting to go down. It's starting to cool off. Heading out of there, heading south, my next bonus was Death Valley Inn. Get there probably around midnight. Nice and cool. No traffic on the road. Easy bonus to collect. Heading southeast out of Death Valley Inn. Go around Las Vegas, probably about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. It is 90 degrees in Las Vegas at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was actually sweating at night. It was kind of surreal. Going around Vegas, next bonus I'm going to collect is the North Rim Grand Canyon Visitor Center. And in the 3 hours from Las Vegas to the Grand Canyon, the temperature went from 90 degrees to 28 degrees. Got very cold very quick. Rolling into the Grand Canyon, the fatigue's starting to catch up with me a little bit. I pull off and I take a little 15-minute cat nap on a bench. And then I roll into the Grand Canyon Visitor Center. Another straightforward bonus, get my picture, throw my heated gear on, get out of there. Very beautiful scenery in the morning. Got to see the sunrise. It was stunning. After collecting that North Rim bonus, that completed my loop. I get my loop bonus submitted. From there, it's just collecting bonuses all the way back to Iowa City. Get 1 bonus. It was the Forrest Gump turnaround point. From there, I head up into Colorado, up the $1 Million Highway. And this was another one of my side quests. I knew if I was close to it, I was going to ride it. So get out there. There's 2 bonuses to collect on the $1 Million Highway. First one being a mine. The second one being a statue of Chief O'Ray. Grab those 2 bonuses. Hit some construction. I run into another rider, another IBR rider, Jenny. Her and I had a talk for about 20 minutes while we were waiting on construction to clear the road. And I head on out, get back on the road. From O'Ray, I'm heading up around Gunnison towards Colorado Springs. Very beautiful mountain roads. stuff I've ridden in the past. It was an awesome ride. So the next bonus I was going after was Poncha Pass. Head up the pass, no one on the road. I somehow lost my heat controller for my heated gear. I felt it fall out of my pocket and hit my leg. Realized very quickly what had happened, turned around, but it still took me about 10 minutes of driving up and down the road to find it. Finally found it, very happy because I would have been cold and sad had I not had that. Get my picture, Poncha Pass, head down off the pass, and at this point I'm needing to take my second rest bonus. It's getting late in the night, I'm getting tired, so start looking for pull-offs. Find a nice pull-off next to the Arkansas River, and I start my rest bonus. And this was just an Iron Butt motel. Very good sleep, probably the best sleep I had on the whole rally. Wake up 6 hours later, feeling nice and refreshed, and I roll into Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs was just a receipt bonus. Stop at any gas station with Colorado Springs on it, collect your 5 points. So I get the receipt in Colorado Springs, and now I'm heading back towards Iowa City. A couple of bonuses I still needed to collect. I still needed to do my meal bonus and my audio bonus for the day. Every day at 6 a.m., we would get an email containing the details of what our audio bonus needed to include. On this day, it was your rider number, your rider name, and what your favorite candy bar was. And they wanted you to go into a gas station, buy candy, and that was going to be your photo. You need to take a picture of the candy you bought next to your flag. I'm not a big candy person, sugar person on rallies, but I go in and I got a Twix. And I'm pretty sure in my audio bonus I had mentioned that I was going to enjoy this Twix before it melted in my tank bag. It melted well before I got to it. And at that point, I decided that this Twix was going to ride with me for the rest of the rally. It was going to melt, it was going to get cold, it was going to go through the next 9 days of this rally with me. And at the end, I was going to enjoy it. So I collect that audio bonus. I still need to take my meal bonus for the day. Get that meal bonus at a car museum, which was really cool. Collect my meal bonus. From there, I had one more bonus to collect in Lincoln, Nebraska. Kind of had a hard time finding this bonus. It was hot. Ended up getting it. Took me way too long. So after leaving that bonus, I'm heading back into Iowa City. I get in around 7 o'clock. Penalty points start occurring at 7:45. So I pushed the time right to where I was comfortable. I was very happy with my first leg. Scoring was very simple. You get in, they take your odometer reading off your bike. That gets sent into scoring, and then scoring sends you an email with your score sheet on it. On this leg, I had 2 bonuses denied. Both of them were receipt bonuses. Thankfully, I was able to provide the information for one of the receipt bonuses for it to be eligible to be claimed. Unfortunately, the second one didn't work. So I get through scoring, again, very simple, very fast. On this leg, I had done 4,200 miles and claimed 1,164 points. I was very happy with myself. The leg went as perfectly as I could have expected it to. Go out to the parking lot. The bike's all loaded up with gear, with all my stuff. I gotta get it on the center stand to check the oil. Not something I'm comfortable doing by myself, especially at that level of fatigue. So I asked Paul and the guy standing over in the parking lot to come and help me. And Paul Tong insists on putting my bike on the center stand for me. And no one's ever touched my bike. Like, I'm the only one who works on it. I'm the only one who's ever touched this bike. Paul is a very big man, and he got this thing up on the center stand all by himself. It was very impressive. A little nerve-wracking, but thank you, Paul. That definitely saved me a little bit of back pain. Check the bike out. Everything's good on the bike. I get it loaded up and ready for leg 2. At this point, I had missed the dinner that was provided. I head into the hotel restaurant right as they were about to close, but they were gracious enough to serve me. I get my dinner. I get into bed at 10:30. Not as early as I wanted to be in bed, but still a good time. Get a solid night's rest and get ready for what leg 2 has to come. So that's where we're going to end off this ride report. The next one will be leg 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope everyone's enjoying it, and hope this is good information for everyone out there. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for leg 2.